The NFL stands for not for long.
Set Sharga and Armstead. Roll out. Walker still running out. Looks to the left. Wide open. Thompson touchdown. Colin Thompson with the touchdown. There was nobody within 20 yards of him.
What a catch off the bobble. Colin Thompson scoops it up.
Lofting corner, the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. The first NFL touch for Colin Thompson is a score.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Colin Thompson Show, presented by Not For Long Media and brought to you by our friends over at the Original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats around the country. Check them out. Jersey Shore, several locations, Ocean City, Stone Harbor, Wildwood, Cape May. They ship fudge and sweet treats around the country, fudgekitchens.com. Hope everyone's doing great. This episode will fully be about the Temple football situation. Stan Drayton was relieved of his duties after 3 years of being the head coach at Temple. Things did not go his way. Things have not gone the way of the football team. And he was relieved of his duties. First and foremost, as someone who interacted with Stan, he was first class, super nice to work with, allowed me to speak to the team, do some fundraising for the team, participated in the Temple football alumni golf outing. A great man, and I wish Stan nothing but the best of luck. It is tough to see anybody lose their job. And Stan's a great football coach and a great man, great mentor, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine and land on his feet somewhere because he's just got a great DNA. He's a great human being. And it's the wild, wild west now in college football. A lot of people have been asking me to address this situation, via text, call. And I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on the job and the opportunity that's ahead for Temple football with the current climate of college football and what's coming. Because what we know college football is now, it's changing. The NIL stuff will be changing. There'll be a salary cap for athletic departments. There's going to be a different version of scholarships, right? You're hearing different numbers that are being thrown out. Institutional fundraising will go back to being extremely important. Not that it isn't already, but it will be in the fact that that's how players will be getting compensated. There'll be players on salary now instead of these NIL kind of fake salaries. I know NIL will go back to, hopefully, some real return on investment for these businesses that are working with players on commercials and partnerships and sponsorships and things like that. So just wanted to give my thoughts on the Temple job because so many people have been asking. I figured, hey, why not? You have this platform. Why not talk about it on here? First and foremost, what Temple needs to do, I think, is get back to their roots. 10th and Diamond. There is nothing like North Philly. There is nothing like that university. As someone who came from the University of Florida, from a bubble school, who grew up in Bucks County and grew up in Philly and grew up playing football in the Philadelphia Catholic League and building relationships with all those people there. When I got to Temple, man, it was like a whole new place. It was real life. It was 10th and Diamond. And if you know, OOU, one of us. It's a certain group of individuals that have played sports there or went to school there that get real life experiences at Temple. Real life. Not a bubble school. It's not fluffy. It's not pretty, but it really gets you ready for the next level of your life. You leave there tougher. Temple tough. TUFF. Coach Chaney beautifully stated it. So to me, Temple needs to get back to their roots. Temple tough, 10th and Diamond, North Broad Street, and embrace a coach, a leader, a CEO type of person that can navigate the current climate of college football because it is rapidly changing. We need to be out ahead of it. We need to be innovative, and we need to surround the coach, the CEO, with big-time coordinators that are Temple tough individuals that can recruit, that can move the needle, that can fundraise, that can truly, truly, truly move the needle in the sense that people will be coming to that university because of them. That will help these players go to the next level, be the best version of themselves at Temple and play in the NFL, period. Because at the end of the day, if you're playing Division I football and your own scholarship, you want to keep playing it. And what allows you to keep playing it? Pro football after. I was really fortunate to play in the NFL, in the XFL, in the AAF, and learned a ton. And I'm just sharing my thoughts on the job base of all this stuff that I've learned in my journey. So first and foremost, get back to 10th and Diamond, hire someone that believes in that place, that is looking to stay there for a long period of time and not bounce out of there. Find someone who can retain good coordinators. And if you can't retain good coordinators, you can go hire new ones because you have such deep connections and rooted in the NFL and college football. Hire someone that can fundraise so you can go get talent, either that's in the portal or through high school, or for kids who want to come back to the university that are from Philly. I'm a product of that. I went to University of Florida. I had a bunch of injuries. It didn't work out. Matt Rule opened his doors to me, and man, it changed my life. I wouldn't have a platform to talk to you today about it. So Coach Rule, he retained talent. Now it's a different time, but he retained talent. He brought talent in, people that were local, people that maybe left, like I did and went to Florida, like others did, Keith Kirkwood, several others, Adonis Jennings, guys I played with, and said, hey, this is home for you. So local recruiting in high school, you got to know everyone in Jersey, Delaware, New York City to DC to Harrisburg. That triangle, Temple needs to dominate it. And you can. It gets poached, ton of talent. But in the people that you're competing with, we should be winning those battles. And how you do it, that's 10th and Diamond, those type of people that can fundraise to support the local recruiting. And really, truly, at the end of the day, you have the individuals that truly breathe and believe in that place and aren't just there for a pit stop. So recruiting, like I said, to reiterate, local high school talent, kids that have moved on like myself and are looking to come back to Philly, come back to home for whatever reason, wasn't a fit where they're at. And then the transfer portal, right? That's a real thing. That is a modern thing. Yes, you can develop players. You can have a developmental side of your roster, but there needs to be a side of your roster that's ready to play, that are mature and ready to go right away. Some may take massive financial support. Some may not and just want to play Division I. And maybe they were a lower level FCS type player or a really good Division II player. And they're matured and they developed and they're ready to play D1. So there's a couple ways to go at it now, where before you had the developmental side of your roster and then you had your starters. Now there's 3 or 4 sides of your roster and you need to be able to juggle that, retain them when they play well, and then also go get others to replace the people that may leave, right? And that takes, to me, elite fundraising. You need to be a CEO type of head coach to be brought into that place to have success. Fundraising at a high level. What's that look like? First off, coming in with outside cash, not just coming in and tapping the same rock of the donors at that school. Coming in with people that have pockets that want to support either you or people on the staff or whatever and say, I believe in you. I have nothing to do with Temple University, but I want to be a part of this ride. There's several individuals that want to do those type of things. There's a lot of people that want to do that type of things. They have the means and they want to be a part of something bigger than them. That's the most beautiful part of college athletics, of sports, is you're a part of something way bigger than you. And you get to row the boat in that direction with all those same people. So I think that's a really key part of it. Is like, yeah, recruiting. Well, what are you doing to retain that talent? Coaches, players. That's fundraising. The end of the day, putting money into the coffers of the school, putting money into the support systems outside the school to be able to do that, to have success at a high level. So I think that's important. 10th and Diamond people, your recruiting is through the roof locally, accepting kids back that left like I did. And then the transfer portal is absolutely massive. How you navigate that is huge. The fundraising part of it. I think modern day in college football, you need an NFL model. There needs to be a head coach, obviously, that runs the show. They need to be a CEO and kind of fit into their role of what they do best. But you need people around them. GM, director of player performance, a front office that's working with the campus with what the budget is, what the NIL is, what the overall situation is of the program, of what we do can improve facilities, make a better atmosphere for our student athletes, things like that. Absolutely massive alignment from a football general manager perspective. Like, you need a GM, someone who's going to manage the cap, manage the team, handle personnel decisions along with the head coach, because your head coach can't coach football and recruit and fundraise and build a roster and manage the cap. Like, now you're talking different situations, right? So I think having a structure from an NFL standpoint and someone that has awareness of what goes on in the NFL, or the means or the connections to go learn about it and come back, or hire people away from the NFL to come join you, is really key too. And I think that will be massive. First and foremost, again, is your staff. How elite is your staff going to be? If you look at the championship teams when I was there, wow, just ridiculous. Every one of those guys is a coordinator in college, big time college football, a head coach, or they were in the NFL from that staff when we were our championship team. And there was great coaches on that staff before that came and went. Position coaches in the league, coordinators in the league, coaches in the league, coaches in college. Like, the staff needs to be there, right? But it's not a massive institution where you have all these funds to do it. So I think there's creative ways to do it to entice people to do that, where you're going to bring people out of the NFL. You're going to bring people out of college to go get that job, to come in and be a coordinator, to come in and be a position coach, to come in and be chief of staff or a strength coach or assistant strength coach that are really good, that are Temple tough, 10th and diamond type people, because they can relate to the kids. They can develop the roster that needs developing, and they can be high achieving coaches that can coach the group that needs to go out and play right away, because you need to win right away. You need to win right away. And the thing that Temple has on their side is a conference that's not as loaded, right? There's been several firings. You see it as some of these other ones. So you could put some wins down against teams that are respectable universities and respectable places, but for whatever reason, they just haven't been winning. Very similar to Temple. So again, 10th and diamond people, I think you need an NFL model. I think recruiting, obviously, we know that's the number one thing. Talent acquisition. How can you keep your talent in the building, the retention? What's the fundraising going to look like? Do they have a staff that does it along with the head coach? The head coach needs to be the beacon of the place, and you need people there. So when the head coach is out, going back to the staff, the head coach is out of the building and grinding and fundraising and making this thing go, you have staff back there that you really can trust to run the team and be head coaches while you're not in the building. So big and bold ideas too. Like, you got to operate on the edge of your seat. You got to operate full throttle wide open. The best people that have had success in Temple, they do that. They take risks. They find a way to do it. They're extremely dynamic individuals that are aggressive, that want it. You can name them. They've came and went. People that are Temple people listening to this right now, you can name them. So we need to be big and bold with how we're getting people to that stadium, not just from Temple, but from other universities. We are the Power 5 school of the city. We're one of the only schools in the top 10 sports media market that has a Division I football team in the city, in the zip code. We're the city's team. We need to be the city's team. We have the best fans in the world in Philadelphia, period. I played all over the NFL. When we were in Carolina, we had to go a silent cadence because the Eagles fans were so loud on the road. We were at home and we were a silent cadence. So to me, we need the juice of that city. I felt it. I was a part of those teams 2015 when the College Game Day came and we lost to Notre Dame by, right, a slim margin. We beat Penn State for the first time in 74, 75 years. So you need people that are 10th and diamond that remember that know that can bring those people back that can do it. That would be my opinion. That's my opinion. Excuse me on it. You need people that bleed cherry and white, bleed North Broad, because they get it. And then when you get people that do that are there for the long haul, right? Good things happen. I was a part of it. And I think too, getting the city involvement, the community involvement, leaning into it, right? All those big things. That's what we did when I was there with Coach Rule. We were involved in everything. It was first class. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I was, learned a ton. I learned a ton from my journey there. And I just wanted to pour a few kind of thoughts and ideas out there that we need to be super creative how we're getting people to that stadium. We need to be creative in fundraising. We need to be creative in partnerships, sponsorships. We need to be creative in the NIL world, back to return on investment and getting our players the best part of it. The player development situation off the field is massive too. How are we helping these kids with financial literacy? How are we helping these kids with job selection? We have this wealth of unbelievable alumni that came and went through this school that played football there or didn't play football there that work in amazing places around the country. Those people need to come back into the building. Those people need to be there for job and career fairs. The player development person is massive at Temple, just as important as the head coach. Working with the team to help them become better men, better student athletes is massive. And the academic part of it is certainly not last year as I'm winding down. A massive part of it. I'm extremely proud of my degree from Temple University. Shout out to the Klein School. I love my time there. And I learned a lot. It was a real life place with real life people. And we need Temple people back running the show at Temple, in my opinion, for this thing to go the way we all want it to go. Temple fans, Temple football alumni, there's an awesome network there. Don't let anybody push you around and say that we don't have a lot of fans or we don't have a great alumni. Turn on your National Football League. The team we played on, we had 30 plus pros, another 15 in the CFL tearing it up there. Smart coaches coaching all over. Let's bring them back. Let's get everybody together. Let's get everyone pulling in the same direction. Let's communicate on a weekly basis with alumni as the head coach. Let's have Zoom meetings weekly, right? Let's get everyone at that spring game. Let's be big, bold, different. That's what it takes. And, again, just giving my 2 cents on the job. Let's lead into the city. Let's lead into Temple Tough, and let's lead into Temple 10th and Diamond, because it's a special place and it changed my life, and I have deep, deep passion for it. So thanks for tuning in. Wanted to just talk about that job for 15 minutes as my show this week. Appreciate everybody's support. Thank you for supporting the original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country, right from the Jersey Shore, saltwater taffy fudge, all that good stuff. Hope everyone has an awesome day, and let's go Owls.